School district millage, 46.06, note retirement, 2.91, general obligation bond, 12.03, for a total for the Hinds County School of 61 meals, volunteer fire department, 1.07, garbage rubbish disposal system, 5.80, for a total Hinds County School District millage outside the incorporated areas of 106.20, except learned, and the flood drainage study millage 4.75. And I ask the board to approve that resolution.
So moved. Do we have a second?
Mr. Graham, did you hear the motion?
Yeah, I don't got confused about seconded. I don't want seconded.
He seconded.
Okay, it's been moved properly second. Right. All in favor?
I have a question.
Okay.
You said except learning.
Well, where would you go about the time of all now for to
Okay.
Yes, that's the way it reads. It's Hinds County School District levy, except learning.
I was learning paying more or paying less.
Learn pays.
I would have to check and see if that's
You gave us
their
that
exception on
capitulation
learning.
sheet.
They're an exception because I think they're the
Right.
only city for which it's going to change. It should say Learned and Byron now because we collect garbage and solid waste for those two towns. All the other towns have their own internal.
So it's an issue of the weight of the
Waste.
garbage. Okay.
Yes.
All right, let me ask another question. Say you live in Jackson or Utica or Clinton. The millage in the general fund millage in 11 was 23.84. Now it goes up to 25.59.
Right.
But the reduction in the garbage millage, which is for people outside of those named communities,
Right.
goes down a mill.
Right.
So if somebody living in Jackson or Clinton or Utica, they're going to see a slight increase in their millage rate.
Right.
Okay, so they will see a slight increase in their millage rate, but those who live outside of the municipalities and are under the county garbage pickup will see a decrease.
Linda, I don't think you're listening to what he's asking. Repeat your question, because our millage rate has nothing to do with Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
But their millage rate is different
Right.
No, I'm not talking about
from the
Jackson.
unincorporated area.
Right. Yeah, but
I
his
know.
question was, well, Jackson goes up because the incorporated millage rate goes down. Would you repeat your question?
What I want to know is Jackson or Clinton, is their county millage rate, because there is a value of what the county taxes in going to go up with this budget? Because you're taking a mill credit in a reduction of this 1.75 mils, 79 mils on the garbage. People outside of or inside of the cities don't pay this garbage, don't pay the millage rate. So will they still see an equal millage rate as they did last year?
They don't pay into that category.
Well, see, they don't pay into that anyway. The city people don't pay into the county's garbage mill.
All right, so let me try again. I paid so much money in the city of Clinton last year for taxes. Now that general fund millage rate just went up 1.75 mils. Well, I pay more next year than I did last year.
From the
In
general
Clinton, you
fund.
will.
From a total county-wide bill, that did increase, and you will pay a little more
Okay, so Jackson
countywide.
will, Clinton will, Utica will, Terry, but Edwards
That
will,
will-
but not Bolton and not Learning.
Well, that will include everybody, countywide, the countywide mill rate will include them as well.
Initially, the Jackson residents, Clinton residents weren't taxed anyway, so it's not going to affect.
See, the garbage is not included in that 38.33 countywide number. The garbage would be separate from that.
It will increase Hinds County, but it's not going to increase the citizens of Jackson nor the citizens of Clinton.
We don't pay a county tax?
They pay county tax, but they don't pay for.
The garbage.
The garbage,
I'm not worried about the garbage.
but you just worried about the countywide.
Is the county portion of my tax dollar going to increase
The
This
countywide portion.
Countywide, that will increase because of this budget.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I need to say. Thank you. I understood the question, apparently. I just had trouble getting it out so everybody else could understand.
Okay.
He means his personal.
All right, did everybody, do we carry the motion?
No, I have not carried the motion. Okay. It's been moved, properly second, that we approving the resolution adopting the setting of the millage. It's been moved, properly second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No. Motion is carried.
That was Mr. Graham voting, Mrs. Dillon?
No, but he made the second.
He made the second.
Okay.
Okay, we
All
have
right.
one last item, and that is, I would request that the board approve the advertisement of the county budget in a paper as required by statute for one day and a week prior to September 30th of 11.
Okay. Let's play board.
So
It's been moved. Do we have a second?
Second.
Move proper second, discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is carried. Now, when will it go on the internet?
We can put it out immediately.
On the website, I'm sorry.
We'll put it out this afternoon.
That's fine.
We'll put it in on the website this afternoon.
This afternoon? Okay. All right. Any other item that come, we'll go down on that. We can deal with any other item anyway. That's the only one that's been advertised. So if no more, then again,
I think someone is here, but she just wants to talk with us regarding flooding. And this is a matter that we can get with you later because it doesn't pertain to this group.
what is it then?
She wants to, she's having a problem with flash flooding in her area.
Oh, okay, okay.
It doesn't pertain to that.
Well, I guess there's nothing wrong with if you want to make a couple of statement.
I'll do it any way you want to do it.
You can if you like, and of course, no action we can take it out.
Exactly.
That's not one of the things that's on our agenda today. And give state your name.
Okay. The name is Judy McClure. I live on Wooddale Drive, which is your Caney Creek area. I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you. I've lived there 50 years, and I came before this board about 30 or 40 years ago on flooding. Now I'm a little bit older and a little smarter on it. I'm still going through the flooding. But I kind of wondered, I wanted to hear the budget. I kind of wondered how that would impact some of our areas. I know that when I walked the creek, and I got all the figures together for the Army Corps, and we got $12.7 million in, the $7 million was set aside for future work for our creek. They came and did some work on the upper end of the creek, and not on the lower end where it flooded. And the $7 million was to be used later. I haven't been able to find that $7 million since, but I can promise you it hasn't been used on our creek later at all. And the other day, we all went through a flood again. For me, it was my 9th one, but for several people down there, they've surpassed like 15 and 16 times. Then the city comes along, and I mean, I really don't like to try to keep up with the appraisals and everything that you do because I trust what the city does. But at the same time, the way it's set up, you put across the board tax increases and across the board appraisals on property and everything, which means it puts us up like we're on top of a hill somewhere, and we're not. And now, the little tributary behind my home
is doing what Senator Thad Cochran said happened on the upper end of Caney Creek. Caney Creek was a small little creek, he said, I used to be able to jump across. Now it takes 2 trains to go across it. Now on my end, that is happening. I mean, the little area that I jumped across is just washing away. It has never had rock put on it. It's never done anything like. We never got the $7 million to do any of the tributaries or the creek or any part of it. So now, the young people that are trying to move into our area, it doesn't affect me tax-wise on the home because I've reached, unfortunately, that 65-year point being in beyond. Yeah, I was going to use the 65. But there's a lot of young folks move in. And then suddenly, one family flooded their first week of moving in, and they're just in total shock. And so, they come to me because I've been there the longest. 50 years I've lived there. And I've seen it, and it's heartbreaking. So I'm wondering, the city came out by accident, I might add, and I thank you for that, but it was by accident. They came out and cleaned out all the drainage. And I want to tell you that made such a major difference for the flooding, you would not believe it. I would say it made at least a foot difference in the flooding. So I learned something else. If the city could clean up the drainage in areas that flood before we get these bad storms, we'd be a lot better off. Meanwhile, is there anything that can be done? And where's my $7 million?
That I can't answer. I don't know who it went to. I did hear you mention the Corps of Engineers.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe our Public Works Director can look into this and see if, in fact, I know it did not come to the county.
Yes.
I don't know who applied.
Our district is in the city of Jackson. This is a matter.
It's in the city.
Yeah, I understand that,
So
but I'm
she
just
should
saying.
present to the
But
city council.
it may be that he can
The city council.
help to find out exactly where the money went, and I guess Congress then
Because
set aside the dollars.
I think this would help the city as much as us, because what my neighbors are doing, we've got a whole new young lot, and they're fixing to hit the city hard with reductions in taxes because of flooding and now loss of part of their backyard. Well, this is not helping the city, and it's not helping them, and it just makes more sense to find a solution that'll kind of help everybody. I know you're not going to come in and make everything beautiful for us. I've got that much sense. But I think there's some things that could definitely relieve us some. And that's the reason that I got out and made the deal with the Army Corps and Senator Cochran to pound the beat on my own for several weeks getting all those figures together. I told them I don't want a penny, put it in the creek. But I didn't get a penny in the creek on that.
Okay.
And so I kind of feel I lost some weight. That was a good thing that happened through it. But I feel kind of left out in our area. And I know a lot of people in the city come in and complain like that. But we really did work hard for that. And I just believe there's an easy answer to ease it. We may not stop a lot of it, but I think it can be improved. And I know Wooddale Drive is just because of the flooding, and that's where I live, it's washing the street away.
Yes, ma'am.
So your streets and roads, you're out there continually repairing it. Money going.
Yes, ma'am. I would gladly work with you in referring you to the city of Jackson.
Wonderful.
We do not handle the flood and drainage problems within incorporated areas. The city would be unincorporated areas.
Mm-hmm.
So I after the meeting, get your telephone number, or you can call my office at 601-968-6768, and I'll work with you getting you to the appropriate entity. And perhaps they can answer some of the questions that you ask us, because the Hinds County Board of Supervisors did not administer those funds.
Okay.
So we would have no knowledge of how it was spent or where it was spent, but we would gladly work with you to refer you to the appropriate.
Well, I would appreciate it. Any direction is better than not.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank
and,
you.
I will ask now for a motion to adjourn. It's been moved. Do we have a second? Mr. I'll second. Move second discussion. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank y'all very much for coming.
To be honest with you, no.
I can tell you that they found a bill exception. They assume it's what they take. Hey,
You're going to have to because they're getting scared off of the other for the same inventory, so I think everybody expected that one, you know?
because I got that one on my desk.
You do? Okay, what? I heard a guy was coming by.
Yeah, we got certified and everything.
Is that what you're going to
I mean, it's,
Yeah.
But if I don't miss it at deadline, everybody has a tax. I mean, that's the only way they can do is take them to court, man.
Well, you know, my thing is they basically get taxed twice, but they're the ones that screw you up, you know?
Exactly.
you all coming in, I'll come in.
Somewhere, out of state somewhere, and got these shovels around. And they drop it off.
They drop it off. And when you think about it, too, like I told the owner, I told Chris and all of them, if you guys had found out this happened instead of holding back here, you got to let them play, we wouldn't look at it. They probably
They went here and tell you all doing what they should have done. Wanted to pay to apply for it, credit back, take over.
there you go. Easy. Easy. Done deal. Then everybody would have been happy. They would have been at the meeting. They would have been rushing their money. Got the tax rate back. That would have been simple. But you know, sometimes some people
No, it was his brother. Brenda, as soon as she came in. No, she's one of the last. This is for the whole.
That was my main.
Look over at me, sir. Oh, I noticed that you had opposed adopting the budget. What were your concerns about the new budget?
Yeah.